We're playing the new hotness from Tarkir Dragonstorm, Mistrise Village. I hope you like uncounterable spells. Let's go check it out. What is this new and exciting land from Tarkir Dragonstorm, Mistrise Village? It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest or a mountain. It taps for a blue, and then for a blue mana and tap this land, your next spell this turn cannot be countered. So the best thing you can do with this is resolve a big spell that will likely win you the game. Necrodominance, Ad Nauseam, Echo of Aeons, or Show and Tell, which is exactly what we're doing here today. The idea is that we would like to resolve Show and Tell into Omniscience, maybe play a card like Stock Up that finds your Emrakul the Aeons Torn and win the game. I actually uploaded this deck about 3 weeks ago. You could find it in the card above, where I was playing Cunning Wish, and I hated the Cunning Wish. In fact, it was the worst part of the deck. So today we're not running Cunning Wish. I know some of you Show and Tell enthusiasts might be upset, but I really do believe it was the worst part of the engine. Since that video, my testing partner and teammate Alex McKinley, aka Viveris, has been playing a list without the Cunning Wish and has found a lot of success. So I'm building off of Alex's list today, and instead we're running 4 copies of the One Ring, another card that you would like to resolve with the Mistrise Village, and then just take over the game. That's the idea. That's what we're doing here today. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Mistrise Village, No Cunning Wish, and the One Ring in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. But for now, we're going to hop on in and showcase this new card. I'll see you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1. We are on the play. Let's go. Alright, so we have a reasonable hand. No Show and Tell, nothing to put in off Show and Tell. But we do have protection. We have some cantrips. I think that this is a fine hand. The opponent also kept their 7. I'll play Misty Rainforest. We'll fetch for the basic island here. Okay, and now I will play Ponder. Stock Up, Ancient Tomb. I think we want all of this. Play the Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. Ideally, I don't die right now. If they're on Oops All spells, I'm not going to win game number 1. I don't know what they're playing right now, but my hand cannot interact with the opponent. Urza's Tower. Alright, so I'm not dead this turn. Candelabra of Taunos. So this is likely a Cloud Post deck. We'll play the Ancient Tomb. Let's play Stock Up. We'll take Emrakul the Aeons Torn and Force of Will. So now I need to find a Show and Tell. Pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. So they can make a little bit of mana here. 4 mana. For a copy of the One Ring. I would like to Force of Will the One Ring. Exile, Sink into Stupor. Alright, I would like 1 Show and Tell, please. Ding! Okay, so I might as well brainstorm here to see if I find an Omniscience, and I do. How lucky! We'll put back the Veil of Summer and brainstorm. I would then like to play Show and Tell. We'll put in Omniscience. They put in Mystic Forge. Okay, I'll put in the One Ring. Whoops. I shouldn't say that. I will cast the One Ring for free using Omniscience. I do gain the protection trigger. I will cast Lorien Revealed for free. I'll draw a card with the One Ring. We'll play another copy of Lorien Revealed. We'll bounce their Mystic Forge. I'll play Ancient Tomb. And we'll cast Emrakul the Aeons Torn. Boom! That's how we do! That is how we do! Alright, this deck feels so good already. So, Mistrise Village obviously isn't a card we're super excited about here. That said, I don't know if you're allowed to board them all out because we did cut 2 Lotus Petals today to make room for these. I ended up going up 2 lands, so that's not nothing. But I'm not sure if we're allowed to board out all of the Mistrise Village. It might be kind of risky. So we could probably shave at least 1, maybe 2. That's 17 lands. I am playing 4 Lorien Revealed today. In my last video, I was only playing 2. So I think I'm down to try this. I will not sideboard in the Echoing Truth. So we have Omniscience. I just need a Show and Tell and this hand wins. We'll keep. I don't have Force of Will or Force of Negation. That is a concern. They play a Manifold Key, Misty Rainforest. I'll play a Misty Rainforest and Lotus Petal. We'll pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. No turn 2 play. I think I'm going to go grab my Surveil land here. In response, they're adding 3 colorless mana. What's going on here? Kozilek's Command for 1. That's fine. I don't care about that. Misty Rainforest. So they're most likely to be Mystic Forge combo or Karn Forge, not Cloud Post. We don't need another Misty Rainforest. Show and Tell? Not a Show and Tell. We will play Brainstorm. Another Omniscience. So the question is, do I want to keep Omniscience in case they have something like a Thought-Knot Seer, which is possible but unlikely? I'm at least free to put back 1 island. And I think I'll put back the Tropical Island too, because I have the Ancient Tomb. And I will play Ponder, looking for Show and Tell. We find the One Ring, stock up. Am I insane that I want to shuffle this? Because next turn I could just play the One Ring. Like, I don't need to play the stock up. I think I'll shuffle. Force of Negation is a good draw. Okay. I could also just hardcast Lorien Revealed next turn. Ancient Tomb. Karn the Great Piece of Trash. I will Force of Negation. Exile Omniscience. They play a Voltaic Key. We'll draw for turn. Another One Ring. Okay, so let's play the One Ring. I'll go to 16. We gain protection from everything. I'll draw a card. Emrakul the Aeons Torn. So we're still in a show and tell waiting room here. They play another Urza's Tower. Glaring Fleshraker. I have protection right now from the One Ring. They go to 10. Mystic Forge. They might be comboing off here. Okay. They have 1 card in their hand. 1 available mana. And they pass. So I'll lose 1 life to the One Ring. We'll draw a card for turn. It's a forest. We'll activate the One Ring to draw 2. Stock up. I'll play the stock up because it gives me 5 looks for a show and tell here. We did not find the show and tell. I will take Ponder and Lotus Petal because that gives me 4 more looks for a show and tell. And I'll play the Ponder. Force of Will, but no show and tell. I think I'm going to shuffle. Actually, no, we'll keep it. So this is a little conservative here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to play another copy of the One Ring. Ouch. And I'm going to keep the original. But this way I gain protection from everything, and then next turn I can try to find show and tell again. And I'll have a Force of Will to, stop something that might prevent me from winning the game. Now they play Candelabra, another Glaring Fleshraker, okay. They go to 8, Karn the Great Piece of Trash. I will Force of Will the Karn, exile Lorien Revealed, Disruptor Flute, that's annoying. And they name the One Ring. My top card is a Force of Will. Yeah, the Disruptor Flute was bad for me here. Another Voltaic Key. I don't think I can win this. They untap the key, they use Mystic Forge down to 6. They're using Mystic Forge again. Now they have a Pithing Needle. Okay. So a lot of hate for the One Ring here. So this lets me know in game 3 I shouldn't keep a hand based around the One Ring. Grim Monolith, so now mana's not a problem for them. I'm good to just concede. We can go to the next game. Okay, so do I want to change anything? Not likely. We'll just resubmit. Yes, I'd like to be on the play. So this has show and tell. I'd like to keep. We have to find Omniscience or Emrakul. Our opponent with a mulligan. Play Tropical Island, pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. Grim Monolith. This is going to eat a consign to memory. Cutting them off mana is one of the best things you can do. They're a deck that plays a bunch of Voltaic Key effects. I don't want them finding anything that's too good. We'll play Ponder. I don't want any of this. We'll shuffle. Force of Will was a good draw. Let's play Hedge Maze. Keep the Ancient Tomb. So that's a One Ring next turn with Force of Will back up this turn. They play Urza's Workshop. Glaring Fleshraker is fine. Play the Ancient Tomb. Play the One Ring. I go to 18. We'll draw a card. Another Force of Will. Okay. Another Urza's Workshop. Shadow Spear. That resolves. They have 3 cards in their hand. Well, take key, that's fine. You have 2 cards in your hand. 4 mana for a Karn the Great Creator. I will Force of Will, exiling Lorien Revealed. They have 1 card left. I'll lose 1 from the One Ring. We draw Tropical Island, I'll draw 2 cards. Another One Ring, and a Sink into Stupor. I believe I'm supposed to just pass the turn here. They play Urza's Tower, 1 card left in their hand. They equip the Shadow Spear, and they're going to attack for 3. I'll take 3, I go to 13. I think I'm just going to untap and draw. I'll lose 2 life to the One Ring. Ponder, I'll draw 3. Okay, so that obviously wasn't the best. I'll play Ponder looking for Omniscience. We don't find it. I will shuffle. Another Show and Tell. Let's play Ponder. There's Omniscience. We have 2 lands underneath it. Play my land. Let's play Show and Tell. Put in Omniscience. I'll fetch. I go to 8. Grab Tropical Island. We'll play the One Ring. Keep the new one. I gain protection from everything. We'll draw a card. Pass the turn. So I'm at 8 life. In my upkeep, I'll take 1. They play Urza's Saga. I will not take any damage here due to One Ring protection. So I'll lose 1 life. I go to 7. Stock up. Let's draw 2 off the One Ring. We'll play Stock up. We find Emrakul and a Stock up. We'll take those. We'll play Emrakul the Aeons Torn. I get another turn. Let's play Stock up. We'll take Sink into Stupor and Ponder. We'll play the Ponder. We'll keep this. Hardcast Lorien Revealed. Play the Omniscience. Player land for turn. Let's play Brainstorm. Put back 2 lands. And I'll play the One Ring. And the opponent concedes the match. Okay. Well then. We are now 1-0 to start off this Legacy League. Mistrise Village did not matter against the colorless Karn deck, but this deck still looked pretty good, I will say that. Alright, let's go get the next 4. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Welcome to round number 2. I have no idea what the opponent's playing today, but they've taken a mulligan. I'm going to choose to keep my hand. We have turn 1 Stock up if we want it, or a turn 2 copy of the One Ring. There's a lot of good things about this hand. I don't know what they're playing, so I don't even know if this hand is relevant in the matchup, but I think it's fairly powerful. I have Ugin. Okay. Let's play Sink into Stupor as a land. We'll play Lotus Petal. And then pass the turn. So the nice thing about this play right now is if our opponent plays turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer, what are they going to do? Take one of my 2 copies of the One Ring? Like, they can't do anything here, and that's exactly what happens. I mean, I guess they could take Stock up, but I still get a turn 2 with the One Ring. I've been loving this build, and I mean, this is my first league playing it, but I've been watching Alex McKinley play it for weeks. And no copy of Cunning Wish, or no copies of Cunning Wish, I should say, seems like the way to play the deck, in my opinion. I just don't think that Cunning Wish is a card I would like to be playing in current year. The One Ring. I gain protection from everything. We'll draw a card. Another Ancient Tomb. They play Cavern of Souls. And they just pass the turn. That's good with me. We'll draw a card. Force of Will. I'll draw 2. Into 2 lands. Let's play Stock up. Show and Tell, and honestly, this isn't very good. I think you're supposed to take double Show and Tell in case they have another copy of Thought-Knot Seer. Play Tropical Island, and we'll go to Cleanup. Discard the basic forest. Another copy of Cavern of Souls. So they did not play a Kozilek's Command on the end step, which is sort of what I was expecting there. Glaring Fleshraker, that's uncounterable. Oh no, they didn't even use the Fleshraker mana. I guess I could have Force of Willed that. I just assumed they did it the right way. And now they're going to play the Eldrazi Sky Spawner that is uncounterable. They have 1 card left. That's my bad. I should have Force of Willed the Glaring Fleshraker. I go to 12. And now they attack. I go to 8. All right, we need to find Omniscience. I'll go to 6. Mistrise Village, I'll draw 3 off the One Ring. Brainstorm, okay. Gives me a chance. We'll play the Brainstorm. We found Emrakul. I don't think Emrakul's enough to stay alive here, because I would go to 4, they just swing out and kill me. We found 3 copies of Show and Tell, but no Omniscience. Okay, we'll go to the next game. That's a bummer. I felt like we sort of missed an opportunity there. I'll bring in Consigned to Memory. We could take out Veil of Summer. Do you even want Force of Negation? That's another question. I don't know if I do. I think I'm just going to submit. You could bring in Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, but I don't think that's going to be a card that's successful against Eldrazi. So this is a turn 3, the One Ring. That might be slow. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. This seems better. We'll get rid of the second copy of the One Ring. I'll lose 3 life, we'll play Ponder. I like the Ancient Tomb and the Stock Up. We'll keep this. Pass the turn. Eldrazi Temple. Play the Misty Rainforest and pass. So I could play the Stock Up, but I'd rather just hold open Consign to Memory. They play Ayavugan. Glaring Fleshraker. Let's Brainstorm in response. We'll put back Lorien Revealed and Sink in a Stupor. Fetch. I go to 16. We'll grab Tropical Island, and I will Consign to Memory. They have 6 cards remaining. We draw into Ponder. I will go to 14. We'll play the One Ring. I feel bad because I feel like me not countering the Glaring Fleshraker might have cost me game number 1. They play another Eldrazi Temple. Chalice of the Void on 1. It's crazy. I think I'm going to let this resolve. I don't think I need to play 1-drops to win this game. I'll lose 1 life from the One Ring. I go to 13. Activate the One Ring. I'll draw 2. I'll go to 11. We'll play Stock Up. Take Sink in a Stupor and Omniscience. The 3 lands can go on the bottom. We'll play another Ancient Tomb. Pass the turn. They play Ancient Tomb with 5 cards left in their hand. The Lotus Petal. 4 cards left. Eldrazi Linebreaker. They have 3 cards. I'm going to Force of Will, Exile, Ponder, Reality Smasher. Okay. So this puts me to 5. I have to win on my turn. Okay, so I'm going to lose 3 life. I'm sorry, 2 life. And now I can draw off the One Ring. We're going to draw 3. No Show and Tell. I just lost. Actually, no, I just lost. Because I can Sink in a Stupor and bounce the Reality Smasher, but I can't live through my own One Ring. No, I can't do that either. Is there a way through? We had sort of opposite problems this match. The first game I couldn't find Omniscience, second game I couldn't find Show and Tell. And it's not like the One Ring made a difference compared to Cunning Wish. Like, the One Ring actually dug me deeper. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything I can do here. Because I'm dead to my own One Ring if I pass. So I would need to resolve Omniscience, and then Emrakul, and have another One Ring. But the first step is getting Omniscience in play. So I could play land, I could go to 1 life, and I could hardcast Lorien Revealed, but then I can't tap the Ancient Tomb because I'm at 1. So playing Lotus Petal is free. I just don't see a way to win this. I guess I'll play the island and we'll just hardcast Lorien Revealed. Draw 3. And there's no Show and Tell on top either. So we saw roughly 40% of our deck with cantrips, because I played Ponders and Brainstorms and Stock Up. So we just fail rated. That's the best way that I can say this here. We lost to Eldrazi. They took away Sowing Mycospawn, but the deck is still alive. We're now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, and we are likely playing a Show and Tell mirror match. So I know that Joe L tends to like playing black in their list, so that way they can also run Reanimator as a sub package within their deck. I don't know if this hand is good, but I'm going to keep it. We have both Show and Tell and the Omniscience, which is exactly what we need. They play a Scalding Tarn, Basic Island, and a main phase Brainstorm. This is definitely a matchup where the Mistrise Village could come into play. It hasn't been relevant in the first two matches, but hey, Ancient Tomb. It's looking like we have a possible turn 2 win. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. I would like to respond with Brainstorm. I'm going to hide the Omniscience on top of the deck. And then I would like to Force of Will, exiling, Sink into Stupor. Okay. They have 5 cards remaining. I'll play Ancient Tomb, and we'll slam a Show and Tell. It resolves, I'll select Omniscience. They've chosen Atraxa Grand Unifier. They've revealed double Force of Will, Show and Tell, Lotus Petal, Undercity Sewer, Stock Up, Brainstorm. So they're likely going to take a copy of Force of Will, Stock Up, a land of some sort, and Lotus Petal. I would like to play Lorien Revealed. They Force of Will. In response, I'll play Brainstorm. I could find Veil of Summer or Force of Will here. I don't find either. I'll put back the Show and Tell in the Misty Rainforest. Alright, so the Force of Will resolves. I will now play Stock Up. We find the One Ring, and let's take Force of Will. I'll play the One Ring to give myself protection. Let's draw a card. Tropical Island. I'll now draw 3 off the Lorien Revealed. And Emrakul the Aeons Torn. Boom! And we win game number 1 versus the Show and Tell legend, Joel. Who's the real Show and Tell expert now, Joe? I'm just kidding. Alright, we'll bring in Force of Negation. The question is, do I want to bring in Leyline of the Void, knowing that Joe traditionally sideboards into like a Reanimator type deck? I think we want Carpet of Flowers. So, traditional wisdom says you're actually supposed to get rid of your Show and Tells in the mirror match. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then we'll sideboard out Lotus Petal. I guess it's conventional wisdom, right? Not traditional wisdom. Words, things. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Alright, so we're at 61 cards. I don't know if I have enough to sideboard out for Leyline of the Void. Maybe I'll shave like 1 Omniscience. The game plan is to actually hardcast it off Carpet of Flowers. We'll try this. This is solid. I will keep. I'd like to at least have one game where we showcase Mistrise Village. This could be that game. Underground Sea. Into Ponder. You've got it. Did not shuffle. Another Ancient Tomb. You know what? I think I'm going to just jam the One Ring on turn 2 instead of waiting for the Mistrise Village. I could be wrong. We'll see what my draw step is, but I might change my mind. I'm going to attempt a Force of Will. Veil of Summer here would be a blowout. And they have the Veil of Summer. Okay, so I think I'm going to lose my One Ring here. The One Ring is discarded. We draw another Force of Will. I'll play the Mistrise Village and pass. Undercity Sewers. They kept the card on top. 2 mana. A green and a black. What is this? Assassin's Trophy. Sure, you got it. I'll go grab the basic island. Well, there's a draw. We'll play our island and let's stock up. We'll take the One Ring and Ponder. And I think I'm going to pass the turn. So I could play Ponder right now. But if I play Ponder right now, there's 2 things that happens. One, if Joe L is playing Daze today, I get blown out by a Daze. I don't want that to happen. And the second thing is, we'll let stock up resolve, is if I Force Will a Show and Tell and they have Daze, I lose. Or I don't really want to exile Force Will the Force Will, so if I Ponder and don't find a blue card, that also puts me in a lot of trouble. So neither of those are things that I want to happen. So they've resolved stock up. We'll play the Misty Rainforest. I'll go to 15. Let's play the One Ring. They have 6 cards in their hand. The One Ring resolves. Draw a card. Force of Negation. Let's go. Back in this game now. They play Lotus Petal, 6 cards in hand. And a Ponder. Another basic island. 4 mana here for a One Ring. I think I would like to Force of Negation, exile, Ponder. End step will fetch with the Misty Rainforest. I'm going to go grab my Surveil land here, the Hedge Maze. Get rid of Tropical Island. We don't need that. Now I'll go to my turn. I'll lose 1 life to the One Ring. I'm at 13. Draw off the One Ring. Another One Ring. I think we're going to sit on that. That could have been better, though. I was really hoping to draw blue cards. Play Tropical Island. Pass the turn. They have 5 cards in hand once they draw for turn. And they're just passing, so that's a really good sign for me. We draw Carpet of Flowers. I'll draw 3. Play Tropical Island. Let's play a Carpet of Flowers. This would make 4 mana. We'll switch to my second main phase. Say yes. I'll make 4 blue. Let's try to hardcast Lorien Revealed. Another One Ring. Play Ponder. There's an Emrakul. I don't think I'm near the ability to play Emrakul, though. So I have 4 mana from Carpet. And then we have 4 lands right here. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I'm going to keep the Sink into Stupor just for a blue card. And now we'll go to cleanup. Discard the 2 lands. Brainstorm, that can resolve. 3 mana for a stock up. Sure. I don't think stock up is what this game is about, so I'm going to allow this to happen. Underground Sea, they have 6 cards in hand. So I'm going to lose 3 life. I'll fall to 8. We'll draw the Emrakul. I'm going to say no to Carpet of Flowers. Let's draw 4 cards now. Another Ancient Tomb that I knew was there. We'll play Ancient Tomb for turn. We'll switch phases. I'll say yes. Let's do green. And we'll play the One Ring. Keep the new one. Pretty close to hardcasting the Emrakul. Let's brainstorm. See if I can find like another carpet. And I do! Beautiful. Okay, we'll hide the One Ring and Emrakul on top. Play the Carpet of Flowers. Go to cleanup. Discard Lorien Revealed and Ponder. They have 3 mana. Another stock up. Sure. Like I said, this matchup is not about stock up. Like, I can just let this happen at this point. Alright, they're passing. I will draw a card. And now they have to discard a card. So I'll lose 1 life on my turn to the One Ring. They discard Show and Tell. So they left it in. That's interesting. So I can now make 10 mana. We'll make blue. Make green. That's 15 mana. Emrakul the Aeons Torn. The hard way. Joe says GG's. Thank you for being a good sport, Joe. Joe Force of Will's exiling Show and Tell. You got it. Joe knows that this doesn't work. They're just trying to be funny. Force of Will exiling Atraxa. Sure. Yeah. Force of Will exiling Show and Tell. They have 1 card left in their hand. Veil of Summer. Alright. That'll do, Pig. That'll do. We're now 2-1 in this Legacy League. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Alright, time for the 4th match. We are on the play. And if my memory serves me correctly, we're facing someone who plays a lot of Painter. So this is a hand where we have potentially turn 2 Show and Tell with Force of Will backup. The thing is, I need to draw a blue land. I'm going to keep. Also, being an Emrakul the Aeons Torn deck when we're facing Painter isn't a bad thing. I'll play Ancient Tomb and pass. There's that basic mountain and a Goblin Welder. Alright, I would like to see a blue mana. I'll take a One Ring if I wasn't going to draw a blue land. Alright, and now we'll draw a card. Another copy of the One Ring. Pass the turn. Land number 2. Grindstone, sure. We lose 1 life to the One Ring. There's my blue mana. Cycle Lorien Revealed. We'll grab Basic Island. Let's try a Show and Tell. They Pyroblast. I will Force of Will. Exile Ponder. Show and Tell. Put in Emrakul the Aeons Torn. They put in Fable of the Mirror. I will pass. So one of the worst things I could do is start using the One Ring, because I don't want to accidentally draw my other copy of Emrakul. That's how I lose. Drawing my other Emrakul. So right now, we just need to focus on not doing that. They play Mox Opal, land number 3, and it looks like they're passing. So I'm not going to draw off the One Ring. I'll go to 9. Play the Tropical Island. We'll go to combat. They target themselves with the Grindstone. They hit Painter Servant. That's what they want. And they concede. Sure. So this is actually kind of funny. Mistrise Village is relevant here since they can't Pyroblast my Show and Tell. Just some food for thought. The other questions are like, do we want to bring in Consign to Memory instead of the Veil of Summers? I think Veil of Summer might be better against Pyroblast. I know that I won't get to draw a card, but my Show and Tells will still be uncounterable, which is the part that matters. Because Veil of Summer, it says you can't be... I draw a card if my opponent's cast a blue or black spell. And then it says, separately, spells you control cannot be countered. So even though Pyroblast would be countering it, my spell is still uncounterable. So the question is, do I want Consign to Memory? And I think the answer is no. I'm actually just going to resubmit. I feel bad that we have not used Mistrise Village yet. I mean, I've drawn it once in a matchup where it would be good, but then it was destroyed. This is not a keepable hand. Mulligan. This hand is super clunky. We'll go to 5. This hand is very good. We'll get rid of Brainstorm and Omniscience. They have turn 1 Urza Saga. We'll play the Mistrise Village. So technically, I have a turn to win. Or we can wait and try to use the Mistrise Village. And now they have Pyroblast mana open. My best draw just became Lotus Petal. We'll pass the turn. Mistrise Village might be relevant here. Saga happens. They're going to search their deck. Maybe I should have fetched in response, because they could grab a Needle here from my Misty Rainforest. They grab Mishra's Research Desk. They're going to use it, sure. They can play one of these cards, which is Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so they need an Ancient Tomb. Oh, friend, that did not work out well for you. We'll fetch. I'm just begging here for a Lotus Petal. I know there's only 2 of them, but I would love it. Get rid of the Ponder. If I'm not going to draw a Lotus Petal, I need a blue land. Another Show and Tell. So one way I could lose this is if I Show and Tell into a Pyroblast and then they have Surgical Extraction. So I don't want to do that either. I just need a blue land. Now they play the Fable. Mistrise Village might come up here. I just need to draw a blue land. Let's go. Veil of Summer. I mean, that protects my Show and Tell. We'll play Show and Tell. I'm trying so hard to use this Mistrise Village. The deck just doesn't want to do it. Alright, Pyroblast fizzles. We Show and Tell. I'll put in Omniscience. Goblin Engineer. Oh look, they have 6 permanents. I will select Emrakul the Aeons Torn. Or I will cast Emrakul the Aeons Torn, I should say. I'm not selecting it. Wow, that was not a difficult match. I am so sorry. I have not used the Mistrise Village yet. I'm really trying here. Let's see if we can make it happen in match number 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round of this Legacy League, we're on the draw. I've opened up a hand where this hand seems better than it is. Like, yeah, you have Lorien Reveal to go grab an island. And then you have double stock up, so you could Ancient Tomb on turn 1, stock up on turn 2, stock up on turn 3. But if they're on anything that is aggressive or acts quickly, this hand can't function. I think this hand is almost a trap. I don't know what they're playing, I really don't. But I feel like I need to not be hit by Wasteland, I need them to not do anything meaningful, I can't interact. Like, what is this good against other than a dirtily blue deck? I'm going to mulligan. This hand doesn't play Magic. We'll keep. Get rid of the Lorien Revealed and the Hedge Maze. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. Okay. They take the Brainstorm. We'll play Misty Rainforest and pass. Polluted Delta. I have no idea what they're playing still. It could be Doomsday. I mean, this still looks like Doomsday. Dimir Tempo is another option it could be. They did not shuffle with Ponder. Okay, it's Dimir Tempo. We'll fetch with the Misty Rainforest. Grab Hedge Maze. So it is a matchup where the Mistrise Village could be relevant. I just wish I didn't mulligan to 5. Veil of Summer. We'll pass. Another Thoughtseize. I will attempt a Veil of Summer here. They know all 3 cards in my hand. I played out the Misty Rainforest in case they... I mean, do you have double days here? They must have double days, right? Grab the tropical island. Pay for days. Veil of Summer back on the stack. And now another days. Okay, so I cannot pay for that one. They can now discard my Wondering. So my best draw just became Show and Tell. And now they Brainstorm. Very good final card to have left in their hand. I think they actually had 2 unknowns, right? Yeah, they had 2 unknowns. So they had 2 cards that weren't lands. And one of them was Brainstorm. They replay Underground Sea. They attack. I go to 15. Omniscience will pass. Polluted Delta, so they still have the Underground Sea in their hand. We'll take 3 down to 12. Play Island, pass the turn. They search out an Undercity Sewers. They surveil a Tameo Inquisitive Student to the graveyard. Land number 3, which we did know about already. They still have 3 cards in their hand. We take 4. I'm down to 8. My time is running out. Looks like they have a Kaito here. Okay, so I'm taking 3. And I guess I took 4 still. And now they'll surveil 2 and draw a card. Math says that they should have a Force of Will by now. Another Emrakul. Okay. Wasteland. The Kaito hits. I'll go to 5. And there's another Goyf. Okay, I never found Show and Tell. We lose. It happens. Now we need to focus on getting the post-board games. So I will bring in Carpet of Flowers. I believe we want the Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath as well. What goes out? Probably the Lotus Petals. I think maybe Sink in a Stupor. Because I'm playing more Lorien Revealed today, which I think is just better. And then I need one more cut. I think it has to be a Lorien Revealed. We'll try this. We're on the play for game number 2. Facing Dimir Tempo. Not enough mana here. Triple Show and Tell is super awkward. I think you're supposed to mulligan, unfortunately. This is a better hand. We'll get rid of the Omniscience. Tropical Island, and I'm just going to jam the Carpet of Flowers. I'd like this to resolve before Thoughtseize can discard it, or Daze, or anything else. Force of Negation. Okay. Underground Sea. And Thoughtseize. They take the One Ring. We draw into Omniscience. I'll play Hedge Maze. Keep the Force of Will, I think. Pass the turn. Undercity Sewers. Actually, do I want Force of Will? Like, I don't have cards here. Maybe I should have surveilled it. I'm going to shuffle the deck with Lorien Revealed. We'll shuffle. They stifle the shuffle. Okay. I guess I'm drawing Force of Will after all. It's funny, on the Eternal Glory podcast, Bryant Cook was like, what do you have to worry about week 1? And he's like, people believing that Stifle's playable again. I mean, sure enough, it did counter my Lorien Revealed here, but it's not a card that I think is super playable anymore. But people tend to love it. Alright, they play another Goyf. Misty Rainforest. I will fetch. Let's grab another Tropical Island. Do I disrespect Daze is the question. I think I'm going to here. We'll play Stock Up. They do in fact have the Daze. I'll force. They have 3 cards remaining. One of them is a land. And they Force Will back. So their last card in hand is a land. So they had Force Will, blue card, Daze. That's their 3 cards in hand. That's tough. They play Underground Sea. We'll take 2. I'm at 16. We draw another Omniscience. Wasteland. Brutal. Okay. I'll take 3. I'm at 13. Tropical Island. Pass the turn. We sideboarded in 2 copies of Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Those might be the best draws in the deck at the moment. Another Wasteland. Okay. So this knocks me down to 10 now. Show and Tell. Polluted Delta. They have 1 card left. I'll go to 7. Ponder. Let's play it. None of those are a 3rd land. I think I'm supposed to shuffle this. Well, there's the 3rd land for Show and Tell. So now I need something to do with the Omniscience next turn. They fetch with the Polluted Delta. I suppose I'll fetch with my Misty before they draw in case they find another Stifle. So this knocks me down to 3. I have to draw something to do with the Omniscience. They play land number 4. Brainstorm. So you're saying there's a chance. Show and Tell. Omniscience. Brainstorm. Let's see it. No! Come on, deck. Why are you like this? Unfortunate. Alright, we didn't get there. We finished this league with a sad 3-2. And I never really got to use the Mistrise Village. There's 2 matchups where There's actually 3 matchups where it was relevant. I came close to using it once. There was one match where I would have liked to have used it, and I didn't see it against the Dimir tempo deck. Overall, I think Mistrise Village is a pretty big improvement to this deck. It never felt like a huge hindrance on our mana base. Meanwhile, we had the upside of making Show and Tell uncounterable, which I think is worthwhile. I do not regret not running Cunning Wish today. I think that card is kind of poopy. And yeah, I mean, I still love this deck list. Despite going 3-2, I think it's quite good. I think if you're looking for anything to change, you might want to look at just cutting the 2 Lotus Petals altogether and then running 2 Preordain or 2 Impulse or something else there maybe. I'm not quite sure. But 2 Lotus Petals feels very random to me. Like, I don't know if that's correct. But everything else I think was quite good. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.